Hey guys, I wore a lot this week and I also went and sampled a load of stuff. So I'll do the samples at the end so anyone who doesn't want to listen to me talking about that stuff can switch off. But for my stands who like a very long video, I've got loads of stuff to talk about. So, it was my birthday, so let's start with what I wore on my birthday, shall we? I wanted to wear Donna Acqua because I wasn't going out, I was staying in. My husband and I were just having a nice quiet one. He made me a little chocolate birthday cake. Um, I'm normally the one who does the cooking in our relationship, so that actually is very meaningful that he made me a cake, guys, because he's not really a lover of cooking. So, a lovely chocolate cake. We watched. What did we watch? Oh, Joyride. Bit of a weird film, like quite funny, but it's got that super bad vibe to it. And we just had a really nice quiet one because one of the joys of having a birthday in January is I can just be like, I just want to stay in and not have to go out, because it's cold, it's grey, and I wanted to wear something really cozy and nice that it didn't matter if it doesn't last or it's not great in cold weather, because Donna Aqua was definitely not great in cold weather. I'm sure people get annoyed with this because you can't get it, like it's discontinued. Although this is an interesting one. The other one that was part of this kind of Valentino Donna collection that had the longer bottles was the green tea. It was like a tea one. I'm pretty sure they've just rebottled that and brought it out in the green, in a bright green bottle in the square ones, because everyone's voting that to smell exactly the same as the previous one that looked like this, but it was like a paler green. So maybe at some point they might actually bring this one back out, and I hope for everyone's sake they do because it's beautiful. It doesn't last very long, which is a real shame, but it's gorgeous. It's basically a lovely almond and pear scent with a bit of florals in it. So I'm not even going to read the notes from Fragrantica because they are different to what's on the card from this Valentino, because I had the actual sample card of this. So I'm just going to tell you what that said because I feel like it feels to me more accurate as to why I like this perfume. So it says green almond, frosted pear, frangipani rose accord, roasted tonka bean. So I think there's like jasmine and hawthorn and all kinds of stuff going on on the Fragrantica page, and that's why I was a bit nervous when I first bought this because I thought it might be a bit jasmine heavy, but to me it's frangipani. Frosted pear is exactly right because it's really sweet. It's beautiful. It just doesn't last very long. But for my birthday, didn't care. Totally lush, wanted to wear it. So yeah, I do hope they bring this out at some point. They can repackage it and bring it out, and hopefully it will be absolutely as beautiful as it is now, because I totally get why everyone's obsessed with that, because I'm obsessed with it. Something else I'm obsessed with and I should wear a lot in this weather. It's not been crazy cold, to be honest, this week. It's just been, chilly, and again, not the nicest. It's not particularly bright, not particularly cheerful weather. Crazy windy. Stash, Unspoken. I don't need to say too much about this. I wear it all the time. So it's quince, pink pepper in the top. Middle notes of honeysuckle, wisteria and peony. And then base notes of tonka bean, sandalwood, musk and olibanum. And honestly, I think this is the one that reminds me a little bit of like a kind of quincy, almost slightly softer version of Jo Malone. What's that one? Scarlet Poppy. That's why I never bothered to ask for Scarlet Poppy for my birthday, because I just don't need it, because this gives me such a similar feel. I absolutely love it. You can get it for super cheap. Okay, and this is the thing I'd probably recommend instead of Donna Acqua, unless of course you like, what is it? God is a Woman by Ariana Grande, because it hasn't got the almond, but it's got a beautiful like fluffy ambrette note. So that's probably one of my other favorite pairs. But in terms of pear and almond, this is the closest to feeling similar to Donna Acqua. For me anyway. This is Burberry Brit, and this is the EDP, not the EDT. I think the EDT for some reason is the one that always gets voted as being the most like Donna Acqua, but I think that one's a bit too sharp and slightly masculine leaning to smell like Donna Acqua. So I would personally go for this one. It's much stronger. It lasts much longer. It is more woody and it's got loads of lime in it. So it's much more kind of citrusy and zingy than Donna Acqua. But the dry down is very sweet, creamy almond, vanilla, and it's got a beautiful pear note in it. It's not as easygoing as this. It's much more of a beast, but it's lovely. So top notes of almond, lime and pear, middle notes candied almond, sugar and peony, base notes vanilla, tonka bean, amber and mahogany. And it's such a good one to wear to work, this one, because it smells really nice. It's not overwhelmingly strong, but it lasts quite well, and it's good in cold weather. I can't wear it in anything other than cold weather because it's a bit strong for me. Or, mild, I can't wear it in warm weather is what I'm saying. All right, then let's go for... I haven't worn this one for a while, and I just sort of was thinking, oh, I just really want to wear it. And I was just at home, so I had a day off. Pretty. Again, not really up to this weather. It's not the kind of thing I'd normally wear in this weather. I just fancied it. I was having like a soft day. So this is Vanilla Orchid from the white tea range, Elizabeth Arden. Sadly, I think this one is also discontinued, but if you ever see it anywhere, I think it is just my favourite from the white tea range. I also really like the ginger lily one. That's the kind of fresher, tangier one that I like. And the Eau de Parfum is like a beautiful, soft, laundry clean kind of white tea and rose smell. That one's really good. The Eau Fraiche is also quite nice as well. It's just not one I felt like I needed in my collection. So I passed that one on, but it is good. This one is quince, bergamot, elemi and lemon. Middle notes of vanilla orchid, white tea, gardenia and jasmine. Base notes vanilla, musk, amberwood, orris and ambrette. This is just like sweet and cozy and pretty. I'm not really sure that these notes really help to explain what this smells like. It smells more like a kind of popular perfume, and it's way sweeter and more feminine than any of the other white teas. But I really got obsessed with this last year in hot weather. Like, it's just so pretty in the summer, and I just really enjoyed wearing it. And the reason being, because I think for the first half of the day, I was wearing one that I'll talk about in a minute, and I just didn't love it, so I just wanted to go for something that was also kind of soft, slightly fluffy, a bit sweet, girly, but wasn't the one I was already wearing, So, okay, I also wore, so good. This is Fresh Cream and Mint. This is the body spritz. You can still get these in the UK for super cheap. You can get them on eBay, and I think I got this from... Is it Perfume Click? I think that's what it's called. But really good. Really like this. It definitely has that fresh cream from the original Philosophy Fresh Cream. And then it has this delicious, like, edible mint smell. If you imagine, like, you made, like, a mint panna cotta, mint and white chocolate panna cotta, that's what this smells like to me. Doesn't smell toothpastey to me at all. It's really like a foodie, proper gourmand. Absolutely love it. There's no notes for this available anywhere, but I guess it's just fresh cream and mint. It's the same as the original one, I imagine. I think it's really, really nice. All right. Oh, yeah, I've got this big boy. Ooh, he's a big one. Yeah. So I wore this to work because this is one I don't really like wearing around the house because it feels too fancy. Like, this feels like a bit of a fancy perfume. It feels like the sort of thing you wear out of the house. So this is Untold Absolu from Elizabeth Arden. Also discontinued, but quite easy to find these. So this is the one that the luxe version smells almost exactly the same. So either that you see would be safe. But yeah, I saw this on a regular like reseller website recently. But yeah, beautiful. So I'm gonna put that huge bottle over there for now. So the notes in this are plum, raspberry, ginger, bergamot, middle notes of Egyptian jasmine, flowers, narcissus, base notes Tahitian vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin and cashmere wood. So this has a really nice plum and ginger. I think those are the two fruity bits I can smell, but it's quite subtle. And then it's got a beautiful and very edible kind of custardy vanilla. It's got I think it always kind of turns a bit custardy when you've got the tonka bean mixed with the vanilla. It's like my favourite kind of vanilla when it's those two things. And then benzoin, which again I always find a bit gingerbready, so it's always really warm. It's kind of like autumn wintry, you know. It smells like this colour, you know. And then cashmere wood. The cashmere wood, it definitely smells like cashmere wood. You can really get a sense for that. But this is one where I think the vanilla's really edible, but the florals in this make it stay perfumey. So that's what I mean. It doesn't smell like something that a really young person would wear. It doesn't smell like modern gourmands where they're like so gourmand that you literally smell like food. It smells like a classy woman's perfume. This is the kind of thing I would wear in cold weather when I want to smell chic. Do you know what I mean? When I want to smell good, but I want to smell like also professional. It's that kind of smell. So I wore it to work when I was just dressed quite smart, and it's just really nice. It's cozy, it's pretty. It lasts much better in this kind of weather. It also lasts really well on clothes. This one like lasted forever on clothes. Not quite, maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 4 to 6 hours on skin. Like, not bad to be honest for an Elizabeth Arden, especially when I think this one cost me 20 quid for 100ml. So I really like it, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes a kind of perfumey gourmand rather than just like straight up, oh, you smell like some kind of dessert. So, oh yeah, so this is the one I was wearing because I wanted to test it out. I was wearing this in the first half of the day on my day off when I put white tea on afterwards. This is Les Fleurs de Lanvin. This is Blue Orchid. Beautiful. The thing is, I like the bottle more than I like the perfume. Reason being, this kind of to me smells like a love child of the kind of Cloud Baccarat Rouge DNA and the Chanel Chance Tendre DNA. So it's like, and I feel like there's just that hint of something slightly tarry. So I feel like this probably does have some kind of aroma chemical in it that I pick up a little bit and I'm not mad for. But the thing is, it's really pretty, but I feel like I don't feel like I need or I particularly love the mixture of those two things, because I have Sarah Jessica Parker Stash Privé, which I think really smells like Chanel Chance Tendre and kind of, you know, that daisy DNA as well. It smells very much like that. It's really light, easy to wear, ethereal and pretty. And then I have this next one that I'm going to talk about in a minute. I might as well put it up now. Then I have Guess Seductive Red, which is kind of my beloved version of that BR540 DNA. So I just wore it and I thought, I don't love it. I think I'm only keeping it because I really love that bottle, and that's not a good reason to keep a perfume when I have as many as I do. So anyway, the notes are for Blue Orchid, lemon and apple in the top, and it's a green apple. I wonder if that's one of the things that I don't love about this, because I don't really love green apple. Middle notes of iris and orchid, base notes musk and tonka bean. So yeah, it's super pretty, but I think in a collection the size of mine, I probably will overlook this one. I've been trying to, again, as I go on, I'm trying things that I've been kind of ignoring to see whether I still like them, you know. And I think I'm probably going to put Fleurs de Lanvin in my for sale list because I don't love it. And like I said, I can reach for either of the other two and get a more kind of pure version of each of those profiles rather than a mixture of the two. But if you think you'd like the mixture of the two, this is a good one. I've just recorded my a little haul video of the stuff that I got basically early this year, or I ordered late last year. All my some affordable stuff, and one of them is Charli D'Amelio. Is that what she's called? It's the UK only perfume she released called Happy Place, and that one is also a bit of a Chance Tendre, but it's a bit fresher, so that it kind of gives me those kind of vibes, but it's a bit fresher and more citrusy. But anyway, you'll see that on Wednesday. I've put that up for this Wednesday. So this, I mean, I just love this. So, you know, I just wanted to wear it. It's one that I don't wear out of the house so much now, just because so many people do wear the Baccarat Rouge profile. Not as many as early last year or the year before, to be honest. It's kind of calmed down a bit, which is very nice. So probably next year, like in warmer weather, I might actually start wearing this out. But I do like this around the house. Like, it's so pretty. Like, it's just, it's like Baccarat Rouge if it were Mr. Kipling's, what are those cherry and almond things gone? I can't remember. Bakewell tarts. It's like a Bakewell tart with Baccarat Rouge. Which is interesting because I think Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy, the current formulation of that, smells like stash with a Mr. Kipling's Bakewell tart. I think maybe everything just smells like cherry and almonds. Like, there's something about it. And I think Tonka Bean often does that. I think Tonka often smells like cherry and almond. So, okay, this one actually has cherry and almond in it though, which is why. Top notes, cherry, almond and pink pecker. There's no pink peckers in here. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry guys, I'm not even going to cut that out, I'm just going to leave that there. Cherry, almond, pink pepper, middle notes of cherry blossom, violet, magnolia, base notes vanilla, tonka bean and sandalwood. I love it. It's cheap and it's beautiful. It doesn't smell cheap, it just actually arguably is cheap. You can get it for insanely low prices. This and Seductive Noir are amazing and they're such fabulous perfumes for the price. I haven't had a chance to smell the original Guess Seductive, but I think it might be duping a perfume that I don't like. I think it's like a jasmine perfume, but if I get a chance to get, like, because you can get 15 mils of those sometimes, like I did with the Seductive Noir, so I might try and get that at some point, just because I think I like a lot of Guess perfumes. There's a couple of others I really like as well. And even the ones where they're not for me, I don't normally hate them. And I don't know that I've come across one that has like aroma chemicals in that really, really bother me. So anyway. Okay, so the last one to talk about, I might actually, can I do these can I squish things in? Maybe fit this little babe. Yay! Okay, good. So I'm going to leave a little space for this tiny thing, because this is just a little tiny miniature that I've got. I think I wore this the day before my birthday. Or maybe I wore it in the morning of. Oh, it's so lovely. It's so lovely. Alright, so this is a tiny bottle of... I'm just going to bring it in so you can see. Oh, there we go. Terre de Lumiere from L'Occitane. Now, you can't get this at the moment, but I actually asked them on Instagram if they could tell me if this was ever coming back, and they told me with a little winky face to watch out this spring. So I think they're bringing Terre de Lumiere back, which is very good news because this is a really beautiful perfume and I think it's been gone for a little while now. They do have the L'Eau version, which I think is a completely different scent profile by the looks of the notes. I haven't actually smelt that one. It's not got, I don't think it's really sharing the main notes that there is in this, so I assume it's a totally different perfume. I think it looks like a peony perfume or something. But I mean, sadly they bought that one back in a totally different bottle, so I hope they're going to bring this back in this bottle, because these are really, the full size of these are such beautiful bottles. So if it comes back in a different type of bottle, I might see if I can get like a second-hand one of these instead. Because to be honest, they're probably about the same price. Like when they're re-released, I imagine they're going to be nearly £100 anyway, possibly. This is a beautiful perfume though. It's magical. The thing with L'Occitane is they are really, really good at the honey note. I've smelt a few of theirs that have honey in. Like I have... what's it called? Herbe has honey in, and I smelled a few of their others that like have honey in, and it's really specific. The same way they have like a really specific L'Occitane rose, they have a really specific honey in their perfumes that doesn't smell too urinal or animalic to me. Like it's just very pretty and intensely sweet. So the notes in this one are top notes of amorette, pink pepper, bergamot, and then the middle notes are honey and lavender. The base notes are tonka bean, bitter almond, acacia, I think, and musk. So I think acacia is like one of those pollen-y smells, and this does have that vibe in the same way that Herbe Spartium, I think it was called, or something like that. That one also has like a kind of pollen note in it, and it gives you that kind of out in warm weather, yellow polleny kind of field of flowers sense. There's definitely lavender, but it's not like mega strong in this, because the main note for me is definitely honey. Like, this is a very, very sweet perfume, and it's sweet in a honey way. So for some people this will be way too sweet, because what I was saying last week is that there's a lot of sweetness with like sugar and that kind of thing that has a sort of balance in a way. So it's sweet, but with something like honey, it's just so naturally sweet. It is like a step beyond sugar to me. So if I was going to like just sprinkle some sugar on something, compared to just putting like a very thin kind of just of honey onto toast or something, that toast is going to taste so sweet. Like, this just a really specific kind of sweetness. So this is for me like quite a cool weather one, even though I think some people would love this as like a spring scent. It's just gorgeous and glorious. It's quite easy to get the miniatures of these, and like, I mean, I think if you just wanted to try it, you could probably get a miniature for like about £12. I think that's probably what that cost me. It comes in, let me just show you, these little boxes, gold. So the L'Eau or L'Or, or which, I can't remember the name, but it normally says it on there, and it's like a pale, it's like this colour normally, and it's in a pale bottle. But yeah, so it comes in these little boxes. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and it's really cozy and pretty and girly, but it's not, I don't know, something about the lavender and that kind of polleny note that just make this super special. It's just beautiful. So that was what I actually wore last week, and then I have a lot of stuff that I went to smell. So I had an evening when my husband was out, and so I was like, oh, I'm not going to rush home. I'm just going to wander into Selfridges. And then on my way down to Oxford Circus, I'm going to go to John Lewis. So I did a doubler. So the first thing I wanted to do, because I couldn't smell it last time, was smell Kayali Sparkling Lychee. So, all right. The notes of this are lychee, blackcurrant, red apple, and Italian lemon. The middle notes are violet, rose, jasmine, sambac. Base notes sugar, vanilla, absolu, musk, amber, sandalwood, and cedar. What I'm left with here has a slight, I think that's the jasmine sambac right in the very base. And this is, I think, I'm filming this on Sunday morning, and then, when did I smell this? It would have been on Wednesday night, I think. So I can still smell it a bit. So this smells like a sweetie. It smells, I mean, it smells, the nice way to say it is it smells youthful. It doesn't smell like a grown lady scent. I kind of feel the same about the apple one, sparkling, is it called sparkling apple? Eden Juicy Apple. So Eden Sparkling Lychee has that same kind of Jolly Rancher boiled sweet, chewy sweet smell. I quite like the lychee note in this one. I think it's pretty. I would not buy this because I do think it's pretty, but it's so expensive for what it is. Like, it just dries down and is just a boiled sweet and a boiled sweet. And then, like, after a few hours, you start getting a bit of vanilla, and then it starts to smell slightly strange to me because of that mixture of like a boiled sweet with vanilla. I guess it's got that kind of, it's not actually rhubarb and custard, but you know, that kind of mix between like a really juicy, fruity, sugary, sweet fruit and then something that's a bit creamy sometimes throws me off a bit. I'd say like a nice alternative, unless you're like wedded to the fact that this is lychee, a good alternative to this, if you like the idea of like a slightly vanillic dry down with a really, really juicy fruit, is the Comforter from Lush, because that's a blackcurrant one, but it really smells like Ribena. It's really juicy. But then when it dries down, you get this kind of vanillic scent coming through to mix with it. So it's that same kind of thing. But the lychee in this is really pretty. The red apple's quite nice as well. Like I said, it's not massively floral until this very deep dry down. And then I can smell like a woody jasmine. It's not an aroma chemical bomb, like massively, this one. So it's just so expensive for what is basically an Escada perfume. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, It's just too pricey, I think, for what you're getting. But, each to their own. I haven't checked to see if this is in focus, but I think I'm all right. my blooming thingy keeps what's it called? It keeps turning it to slow-mo, so I don't know what's going on with my iPad. Right. So what's next? What's this? Oh yes, I went to the Chanel counter. So what shall I start with? All right, Allure. Because I haven't smelled Chanel Allure for ages. But I wanted to have another smell because I wanted to remind myself of whether I'm correct about Benetton Hot really smelling like it. And yes, absolutely. Benetton Hot smells so much like Allure EDP from Chanel. I mean, it comes in a very tacky bottle compared to the beautiful bottle you get with Allure. But they are so similar. They're so similar. And to be honest, I think I kind of prefer Hot slightly. It is a little bit jasmine forward, but I think Allure is even more jasmine forward. But they are so similar. Absolutely. If you like this perfume, just get Hot by Benetton. It's just amazing how similar they are. Like, it's a really, really excellent dupe. Oh wait, let me tell you. So the notes of Allure are peach, vanilla, mandarin, orange, jasmine, bergamot, magnolia, cedar, orange blossom, vetiver, rose, peony, and lotus. And it just has this gorgeous, like, soft, powdery, woody, floral, like, warm, cozy. It smells like actually smells like a cashmere jumper. Like, I love the smell of this, but I do struggle to wear it because of that jasmine. Like, I really struggle with things that are that jasmine forward, especially like in older perfumes. But it's gorgeous. Like, I might have to try wearing Hot again and see if I've become a bit more hardy towards the old jasmine, because I really love the smell of that perfume. Okay, one I did not love the smell of at all. I went and sniffed all the J'adores from Dior again. I just sniffed the other ones, but the new one, which is J'adore L'Or from Dior, the one that's got the kind of smoother top, I do love these bottles. I think they're gorgeous. But so I sprayed this, and on first spray, it was the prettiest of all of them, I think. There's no fruit listed here, but it did have a slightly juicy, sweet, almost like you get with like pear, like a very soft kind of juicy smell mixed in with the florals at first. And then it dried down as straight screechy florals to me, really screechy white florals, jasmine being the main one. So the notes listed for this are jasmine, orange blossom, violet, lily of the valley, and rose. This is just a jasmine bomb to me, followed up by a really soapy orange blossom and a very old school lily of the valley. Yeah, I hate the dry down of this. It's another one that I had to put in a little bag because I was just not dealing with the smell of this in my room. I don't really like any of the J'adores. I think they smell very dated, and I wondered whether when I first sprayed this one, I was like, oh well, is this another Francis Kirk de Jean? Probably is. One which says like ambroxan or something in this, or something that's making it super screechy. But when I first sprayed it, I was like, oh nice, he's really modernised this scent. Like, it does have that J'adore vibe, but it smells much more modern, a bit more approachable, less kind of screechy. But then the dry down just turned into full screech again. So no, I can't be dealing with that. But it's not really my kind of thing. So it's a bit cruel of me to slag it off, but it's not really my vibe anyway. Okay. I am angry that I like this one as much as I do. And it's possible that in the future I might have to look for some kind of... I mean, would I like it to wear? That's another thing. So I wanted to smell loads of stuff from Guerlain, and because it will come and you'll be able to see it. I won a bid on an old bottle of Shalimar Eau de Toilette, but I wanted to smell that in store. But Selfridges are doing like building works in the perfume bit, and they used to have a massive Guerlain counter and a whole bit down the side that had like all of their bee bottles with all their classic scents and all this kind of stuff, and it's just gone. So they only had one tiny Guerlain stand, and it was only with this range in these bottles, these new bottles. It didn't have any of the other ranges. So this is Feve Gourmand from Guerlain. I just wanted to know what this smelled like. I read a thing about it on Fragrantica, and I just thought that sounds really interesting. The way the article was written was just really interesting and really beautiful. And I thought, against every grain of my soul, I was like, I'm just going to go and smell this, even knowing that I will never, ever buy this perfume. It is insanely expensive. I think this one's almost £400, if not more. It might be over. It's madness. It's Guerlain. What is this? Anyway, it's bloody delicious. That's the problem. So it's cacao, rum, spices, smoke, tea, rose and patchouli. I get a little bit of smoke. I know that there's tea in here. I can really feel it. And there's definitely cacao. At first you get cacao and rum. That's the main thing. And then when it dries down, you get a smoky tea. But you get those spices the whole way through. And the spices are the strongest thing to me in here. It smells like Christmas. It smells like star anise and cinnamon and nutmeg. It's like those kind of classic spices. It's probably got coriander. It's honestly, it's so pretty. It's beautiful the whole way through. It's annoyingly good, this. I'm annoyed about it. I hope someone will do some kind of affordable version or dupe. I had a look at some of the comparisons. I can't really see anything in there that either that I agree with and everything else is quite expensive. But Feve Gourmand, oh my God, I hate them. I don't know how easy this would be to wear though, if I'm being real. It might be a bit tricky to wear, this one. It might be a bit sickly. It is very sweet. But it is so pretty and it's quite original. I don't know that I've smelled a huge amount of things that have this smell. Although the spices are classic. The spices are like spices that you get in like Obsession or like Hot or, all of those old school ambery, woody spice perfumes, like spice bomb ones that you used to get in the 80s. Those are the spices here, but it's like in a really modern gourmand. It's like so pretty. Yeah, I'm annoyed about how pretty that is, but it is pretty. Okay. My sister got a little sample of this and she literally messaged me on the day I was going to Selfridges. So I went to smell it specifically because she was saying she thought it was really nice. And I was like, oh yeah, I know the original one. But so, oh God, I really hate the dry down of that. This is Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche EDP. So this is their new Eau de Parfum version of Eau Fraiche. And this went through so many stages. It's not linear at all. So the notes are listed as citron and aldehydes, middle notes of jasmine, base notes teakwood and amber. Oh God, yeah. Now what's remaining is a really screechy white floral jasmine smell with a bit of wood. Yeah, and this is after quite a few days, but on the actual day, the top notes are really nice. They're a very candied, citrusy smell. So they're much sweeter, more syrupy. Again, not quite boiled sweet, because they have that classy Chanel vibe still. It's like a really specific DNA in kind of Chanel perfumes. You kind of can often tell if it's a Chanel. But this one, I really liked it at first, but by the time I got home, which was maybe like a couple of hours after I sprayed it on this card, it smelled entirely like a masculine, like a really basic masculine aftershave smell. That's what that kind of turned into. It went woody, a bit ambery, citrusy. It had lost its kind of sweet, syrupy, girly, boiled sweet kind of vibe that you get in the top. A much juicier, classier version than like in the Kayali ones. I'm not saying that because I'm a snob to Chanel, because you know that I love a bargain. But it definitely was sweeter and a bit more zingy or whatever. But yeah, then it really smelled like a cologne, like a really old school, basic cologne smell. And now it just smells, it's screechy jasmine that reminds me of the J'adore. Yeah, no, I can't. Ugh. Really liked it at first though, but yeah, not for me. I don't massively love the original one, because I find that one a bit masculine as well. But I, again, like if you would like a more feminine version of this kind of smell, if you can get that Happy Place one, that you'll see on Wednesday, then that might be quite a good option for you, because it's a similar kind of vibe. All right, that one I did leg. Oh yeah, this one, because I just couldn't remember what this smelled like, the original Chance. I can't really smell this anymore, but Chance EDP from Chanel. So this one is top notes of pink pepper, middle notes of jasmine and iris, and base notes of patchouli, musk and vanilla. And it just kind of, I felt like this is a slightly nondescript, kind of warm patchouli, perfumey smell. Like, it didn't really make much of an impression on me. I never wore this one. I don't think I know anyone who wore this. Yeah, I can't really smell this one anymore. Yeah, slightly irisy. It hasn't got that same screechy jasmine in the dry down. It's quite patchouli-y though. Kind of slightly sweet patchouli floral. Like, that's alright. I don't really have much to say about that one, to be honest. I can't really smell it much anymore. It didn't make much of an impression, to be fair. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, another one I had to put in a bag. I had to put this in a bag. So this was, they didn't have this in Selfridges, so this is one I smelled in John Lewis, and they just put it on a Victor and Rolf thing. So ignore the Victor and Rolf. No, this is the kind of patchouli that I absolutely hate. So this is top notes of bergamot and grapefruit, middle notes of iris. Oh, it's Valentino Donna, by the way. The original, just the Valentino Donna, which I've not smelt since I went to... I can't remember what the shop was called, but they had it in there, and I smelt it when I was smelling loads of other perfumes, and I was like, I think that one might be all right, but I didn't spray it on me, and I didn't take the card with me. So Valentino Donna, bergamot, grapefruit, middle notes iris, Bulgarian rose and praline, base notes of leather, vanilla and patchouli. There's just too much patchouli. There's way too much patchouli in this. I think I'd really like this if it didn't have the patchouli, because I like the grapefruit. I like that it's got a soft irisy smell. The praline is sweet, but it's not like crazy sweet. The vanilla's not too much, and I can sense, I don't know. Sorry, I just had to have a bit of coffee. It does smell like there's still leather in this to me. Like, it does have something leathery in there. But yeah, it's just so overpowered by the patchouli, and I just, I don't really like patchouli with too many florals, and I don't like patchouli with too many fruits, so this one just doesn't work for me. It is quite classic though. I can see why people who like fruit choulis and stuff like it. Another one that's a bit too patchouli heavy for me, but I think it's really pretty. This is Gucci Guilty Eau de Toilette. I just was walking past Gucci and I thought, I can't really remember what that one particularly smells like, or I haven't smelled it for a really long time. Not in this bottle anyway, because this doesn't smell like what I remember, like the square bottle. I'm guessing that's a different perfume, I don't know. But I feel like this one I didn't recognise. It was definitely very strong in the patchouli when I first smelt it, but the deep dry down, what I like in this is the lilac. So it's got pink pepper, mandarin orange in the top, middle notes of lilac, peach, jasmine, raspberry, geranium and blackcurrant, base notes white, musk, amber, patchouli and vanilla. And like the dry down is giving me vibes of something like Mediterranean by Elizabeth Arden, that kind of soft, lilac-y, wisteria-y, pretty feminine smell. But yeah, I got a lot of patchouli and pink pepper when this first came out. So it smells so much nicer to me now than it did when I was actually in the store, and when I first smelt this. I really didn't like it. But yeah, it's actually quite pretty now. I can understand why people like it. But yeah, it doesn't smell the way I remember it. So I don't know whether the square bottle that they used to do, which I think is also called Gucci Guilty, I don't know if that's a totally different perfume, or if this is just a reformulation, or whether my memory just isn't serving me very well. I'm not sure. So we've got the last three, and I just went and had a real snifter at, what's it called? Diptyque. So And I went for, I think, Eau de Toilettes of all of these. So can't really smell this anymore. This is Velocicus. I mean, most of the diptyques I have sniffed before because I just really love those bottles, but they're very expensive again. But Velocicus, it's just listing fig and fig leaf and fig tree, and it is just pure fig. And it's really pretty fig. It's the most realistic fig I've ever smelled. It smells exactly like a fig that you've just cut up and given a bit of a squeeze to. You know, it just smells like that. Absolutely smells like fig. It's very pretty. It's very good if you like fig. It's a little bit sharper in the dry down than when you first spray it, but it's just a very natural smelling fig. Just really pretty. I understand why people like that one. It's not one that I would want, but it's totally cute. And then let's have a look. Okay, let's do this one. Papier. Oh gosh. Oh, I hate this in the dry down. Oh my god. I don't know if there's a aroma chemical in this or whether they've just got a real harsh woody note in the base, because I couldn't smell this when I first sprayed it. This one goes through a few phases. So I don't know what's going on, because on Fragrantica it says musk, white musk, sesame, mimosa and woody notes, and then on the actual website, which is what I remembered when I was talking to the lady, white musks, mimosa, blonde woods, rice steam accord. So it doesn't mention sesame, and it says rice steam, and that's what it smelled like when I first smelt it. But it had this kind of like biscuity smell to it that I wasn't keen on, because I think the problem with rice steam is sometimes that is a weird stale smell, especially basmati rice. Like it has a weird stale smell to me. Yeah, but then it kind of got softer. It does smell a bit like paper. Yeah, but now the woody note's totally taken over. I feel like when the more gourmandy kind of thing died down, then it started to smell quite interesting, quite pretty, but I don't love it, to be honest. It's not my thing. Okay, but the one I really liked, which I probably can't smell at all anymore because I could barely smell it after about an hour. Yeah, it's gone. It's totally gone, which is a shame. How do you even pronounce this? Eau Mohale? I'm going to go for that by Diptyque. So this is ylang ylang, floral notes, ginger, pink pepper, vetiver, benzoin, patchouli and incense. I don't know what it is about this, but it's really beautiful. It's like a natural, fresh, spring-like, juicy ylang ylang. And I guess that's the ginger that does that. It's like, I don't know that I've smelt a ylang ylang that smells quite as fresh and sheer and kind of, I mean, like I said, like juicy as this. Normally they're a bit thicker or they're a bit sweeter or they're like banana-y or whatever. This one is just like, it's just something very feminine and springtimey and just easygoing. Like this would be a super easy reach, I think. It's so pretty. I can't think of anything that smells like this, but I hope I can find something that smells like this, or I'll try maybe to get like a miniature or a partial bottle or something, because this is the one that I actually really, really like out of all of these things that I've smelt. Well, apart from the bloomin' Feve Gourmand, but I mean, come on, that's not happening. Yeah, sadly I can't smell it, but I was really in love with this one. I kept sniffing it on my way home. This is the bit that I kept taking out and actually sniffing. It's so pretty. So that's Eau Mohale from Diptyque. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really lovely. Yeah. So that's everything that I smell. I've managed to do that in not too bad a time, I think. So this is what I wore. Those are the things I smell. What I wanted to say, and I know that only my hardcore subscribers are still going to be with me to right at the end of this one. I thought it might be fun, like if any of my London subscribers, if you live in London, I thought it might be fun to go and sniff some perfumes together at some point. So if any of you fancy that, like shout me in the comments, because I can get to Stratford really easily to go and sniff perfumes there, and there's some really good places for affordable perfumes. There's a shop that has so many affordable things that you can just like test in store, and also, you know, like Selfridges and John Lewis, so like Oxford Street area, that's really easy for me to get to as well. on like evenings. Yeah, so central London's best for evenings and Stratford's best for weekends. But if any of you guys would like to, you know, maybe have a little coffee and then go and sniff some perfumes, that'd be really fun. Because I was just doing Carmen Centric's little thing I was tagged in, asking some questions about perfume stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't really have any friends who are actually interested in perfumes in real life. So I thought I really should do something about that, because it is really a fun thing to go and smell perfumes, but I don't really have anyone who's interested in doing that with me, like, you know, other interests, and that's fine. But yeah, so let me know if you're still with me at the end of this and you'd like to maybe have a coffee and go and sniff some delicious perfumes. All right, so that's it for this week. I had a lovely birthday week. I've got a couple of days off this week as well, which I'm really looking forward to. So just lovely, chill January. Let me know if you've worn any of these. If you aren't already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really makes a massive difference. It's very helpful to me. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a lovely week. I'll see you soon. Bye.